Welcome to today's Strengths Conversation. I'm Jane Liebecker coming to you from Seattle, Washington, and I am an Eddie Villa certified coach utilizing the Clifton strengths in my coaching business.
And I am Annetta Fields, joining you from Laurel, Maryland. I too am an Eddie Villa certified coach, and I have to say, I absolutely love using the Gallup Strengths Assessment as a tool in my business.
Our special guest today is April Garrett. April, where are you today?
I am in Simpsonville, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. So, April, can you share with us what your dominant domains are?
My dominant domains are strategic thinking and influencing. And the strategic thinking is I love to do everything in such a way as to honor my desire to think, create, and learn, and to move people forward.
Awesome. So, how'd you learn about strengths?
I went to the doTERRA leadership meeting in 2018, and they had us take the test.
Awesome. So when you learned about your strengths, how did that feel?
It felt exhilarating and validating.
Mm. Hmm.
Yep, I had been told all my life that not to be those things.
Well, so we're going to talk to you today about your strength command. Where is that in your top 10?
It is number 8.
Number 8. So for those who may not know what command is in Gallup language, I'm going to read that definition. And so people strong in the command theme have presence. They can take control of a situation and make decisions. Is that how you operate with the command strength?
Yes.
Okay.
So much that some people think I might be bossy. but I really have, since I have taken the test, right? I have seen where, I don't know if y'all talk about balconies and basements, but I've found where, the times that it worked well was when I was doing it, in needful situations, right? Instead of all the time. Is a differentiation that I see with that.
Good insight. What are your number 1 and number 5 strengths, April?
Number 1 is responsibility. Number 5 is relator.
Nice. So
Yeah.
can you tell us an example or give us an example of how command has served you or how you enjoy using it?
Well, usually, well, I actually use this in my business in a kind of, I guess it would be a calmer way. And then in my, for me, it calms others, I should say. Well, I guess it calms my family too. But usually it's a stressful situation for them, and I'm giving them commands, right? But how I use it, or I give 2 different examples, one of each of those, ones with a family situation, one with a business. So with a family situation, we went on a long bike trip, parked our car at the National Forest, designated place, and there was no signs that we should be warned about anything. And so we went on the bike trip, and it was literally like, 10 hours that we were gone, had lunch in a town nearby and blah, blah. I came back, and there's several parking lots along the trail. And we went to the one we thought our car was in, or our van, and it was not there. It was gone. So then we went, well, maybe we parked in the other one, because we've been gone so long. We've been tired, sweaty. It's in the summer. So tired, sweaty. And it was hard work, because we went up a mountain and then went down. And this was the type of mountain that everyone got a ride to the top and rode down. So we were like passing people all the time, but they're going the other way, right? And they had smiles on their faces, and we're like, right? And so we get back, we're like delirious, thinking possibly that maybe it's in a different parking lot, right? We forgot that we parked in the other one instead. So we went to that one, and it wasn't there, and we knew it was one of the 2. So so everyone was kind of shocked, didn't know what to do. They were kind of like shocked, confused, probably sad, worried, all these things. And within seconds, I was able to go, okay. And it was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I knew the police department, right, might close. And so I went, and we were on bicycles, right? And this was a bicycle town. So there was a path for us to bicycle to town. So I said, okay, let's get going. We're going down to the town. And of course, but right before this, we're exhausted, right? And all of a sudden, we're all in gear, like, let's go. But I was the lead, right?
Mm.
I was the one pushing, and we had children. So the youngest was, we were pulling one of them. So I don't know, she was like 5 or 6. And so the oldest was like 12, and a couple in between. And so anyway, so of course, I had to gather them right in mind. They had their bikes; they were already on them, and I'm like, "Okay, come on, guys, we gotta go!" And we're getting to try to get there before they close, and so rushing. So I was able to, even talking to the police, even like my memory was sharp. I knew what we needed to do, whatever they were communicating to me. I thought I have ideation, so I started thinking of all these different ways to. And we hadn't eaten, like it was time for dinner. They took our van, which we were camping, which had all our food in it because they had bears. And the bears, they warned us the bears would get into your vehicle, I mean, your tent and things. So put everything in, even don't leave your cooler out, right? So we had all of our food for a week we were staying. And this was at the beginning of the trip.
Oh, wow.
And we had just filled it with gas, $70. This is when gas was really expensive. When we $70, put the whole van in that morning, because where we were camping was very remote too. So we couldn't just go to the gas station when we wanted, or grocery store or anything. So we had everything. And so, I had to think through, we had library books. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we had to think, well, how we're going to eat tonight. We're in this remote place. All the restaurants were closed. The policeman said, hey, we got to get over there to the restaurant really quick because this one, it's getting ready to close. And he talked to them and said, stay open to finish. It was like 10 minutes till or whatever. Stay open because they don't have any food and this is what they need to eat, right? But I was able to think through. I have a cousin that lived nearby. I started thinking about he could give us a ride home because we were 4 hours from home. Our van was actually a pop-up camper, but so canvas sides and all that. But the towing, so the next morning we talked to the towing people. I mean, not towing, but the, what do you call that? The car rental people, and they won't let you tow. And we're like, we're 4 hours from home and we have a camper. Like, how are we gonna, and we do have a truck at home that we could tow it, but we didn't know if it would get over the mountain. I mean, it was just this whole thing, but I was like, oh, we need to call this. We did it. Oh, wait a minute. Let's talk to that camper. Oh, let's talk to the what do you call those people that take care of the campground, right? Let's call them and do that. In another instance, now then, the next couple days after we got it all set and we got home, I crashed, right? Because it's like this, right? Heightened thing. And then, whew, right? Another instance with my work I do, I'm a wellness consultant and Eddie Villa strengths coach also. And I help people in their health. A lot of things are somewhat emergencies for people, right? But I've handled them before, so I know what to do. Anyway, couple that with my knowledge and all that, and able to say, like, I work with people with concussions. I work with, other serious kind of things, right? And so, and not so serious, but are still an emergency for people, like digestive or things like this. And so then I'm able to say, hey, do this right now, right? Or take this, or I'm coming over, kind of thing. And I'm able to think through while they're kind of going, what? I don't know, kind of thing. Right? But so I have found that if I'm in a public, like a church setting or like a activity or something like that, I kind of have to ask, because it's an influencing strength. I have to ask, can I move forward? But in the case of with my family, because I have that relator strength at number 5, I have them, they're in my inner circle, if you will. And so I don't feel, they probably like me too, but I don't feel like I need to ask. And it usually works out well, right? Because I respect them, they respect me. I'm only going to command when it's time to command. I'm not going to be going, move your shoes, do that, do this, right?
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's more of a thinking clearly in a crisis and know to jump in. Like it energizes me to do that. Like
That's
other
awesome.
people, yeah, would be exhausted by the experience, right? You probably are from just hearing about it. And then, and I don't know, probably to kind of go into some of what you probably want me to talk about too, is with my number one strength at responsibility. Well, what I was going to say was number 5 also is that these clients that I have they're not my super inner circle, right? Those 3 or 5 people, right? In my relator strength, but they are in an inner circle of that I'm close with them. I have good tight communication and trust and all that. And that's where that responsibility comes in too, is that they know that I will deliver what they need,
Mhm. That's
right?
good. That is good.
Going to be by their side. And then of course with command and responsibility, I'm being responsible for how we're gonna, because they took my purse and all that in the van. So they so I had to get a new debit card, all these things I had to think through. And they had my kids' social security numbers, all this, my social security cards for my children were inside my wallet. And so, we had to shut down all these things, right? So that's that responsibility too, not just command, but how they work together.
That's
What
good.
other things, the bank account, the this and the that, right?
Well, I'm curious, did you get that pop-up van back?
We did.
Pop-up camper?
So what happened was, okay, and this is where I use my woo, and then being open to possibilities, with the ideation, is that as we were, because they took our only cell phone also. At that time, we only had one cell phone, and it was in the car or in the van. So we were at the office making phone calls and for the rental car, whatever. And then one of the campground keepers and all that actually came in and said, what's going on, and then the other ranger and whoever spoke with them and everything. And as they're speaking, he says, well, I have a truck, I could probably help them. Well, we had 5 bicycles, 4 bicycles, a pull behind, of course, all our camping gear, besides what was in the camper, the things that are out that we usually put in the van, right? And then like a camp stove and these kinds of things. And then what was the other things that we had? And then so his truck had to tow plus haul our things, plus haul 5 people, plus him, so 6 people. So we're like, okay, like I was like, that's so nice, thank you so much, we would love that. Thinking, at least that's an answer. We'll at least get the camper home. We'll figure out how to get people, you know what I mean? We'll do something. And then, and he was really ragged looking. He literally had, I don't know what they call them, beater shirts, whatever. Like literally just tank top that went down. You could see his waistline and all this, and just really scruffy and everything and older. And we're thinking, he probably just has this beat up truck that's this little thing and it can only take 2 people and blah, blah, blah. And my husband was like, why did you talk to him? What was going, because I was wooing, right? And I was like, and being my responsibility and command, yes, we'll take whatever you got, because hope it showed up, And of course we were praying during this whole thing too, but we're like, oh, I felt like it was a godsend. And so then he said, well, meet you at your campsite. And we gathered our things, not knowing if they're all going to fit. And he pulls up in this nice double, whatever you call that, where you have all these plenty of seats, right? Cab, fit all of us comfortably. Like we didn't have to sit on each other's laps or anything. The back of the truck was huge. We got everything in there, and it was awesome. And he charged us nothing.
Wow.
He would not take the money. It was 4 hours one way and 4 hours back. And he used to be a truck driver, semi-truck driver. And he said, oh, 4 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours back. No problem. I do that all the time, And he just loved to drive.
That's awesome. Wow. Great stories, examples, and connections and all of that.
Connected all your strengths together. So April, what would you say to somebody who's hesitant about taking the Gallup Clifton Strengths Assessment?
I would say take it. It's going to change your life. if anything, it's going to make you minimally, it's going to make you aware
Mhm.
and grateful for who you are. That's what it did for me. And then worst case scenario, your work at figuring out who you are and
Yeah.
and how to make your life better, like, I mean, and happier and more authentic. I mean, it's just I was already living in my strengths when I found them, but I would hesitate because others around me that I trust would say, don't, like my husband, don't use that woo, which he didn't know what that was, right? But he would say, no, don't do that. That's embarrassing or whatever, right? And so I wouldn't use it. But then at times I knew I had to, like in this case, right? Command and woo, I had to do it, right? But it was, I'm able to do it more consistently now. And so you'll be able to live more authentically. It's awesome. Have more joy.
Yeah. And then,
Wonderful.
yes, this was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for, you did such a good job of explaining the command strength and how you use it. Thank you so much.
You are
We
welcome.
appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.